Everything is fine. We have just created an instance of it and we have simply passed our title and description and verified that it matches with our schema, where title is required, description is not required, and completed is also not required with having default value is false. That means if you don't provide completed or update completed, its default value would be false. Later on you can make it true also, that means your task is completed or not completed. That's totally up to you. But right now only two things are required, title and description, and title is mandatory, description is also not mandatory, but still you would be providing this data from front end, right? And by default completed would be false, so you don't need to provide completed. Now let's come back and we are going to say that we want to push this. That means we want to add this to our database, so we would simply say todo.save. So we would just say await. That means obviously it would be taking some time, so I'm just saying await todo.save, and then I would just say whatever is the response, I'm just going to say res.json, and here guys I'm just going to say that we have a message to do added successfully, and then as a response you would be sending your data also. I would be sending my to do which is saved as a response. Okay, that's it. So we're just saying once to do is saved, we are just going to send this as a response, right? So that's how it's done. Now let me just check if it's working properly or not by simply hitting this API. So if I just call add to do API inside what? Inside this. So if I write, actually if I go to my website first of all, so here you can see we have slash to do. So if I go here and this was slash to do, now we are going to create a post request. The request name is add to do. Okay, so inside add to do, what is required? So first of all, in the header part guys, here you need to provide content type application JSON, because that's how you would be sending or receiving data here. So we are receiving data using application JSON. Inside this I'm just saying we have a raw data. Inside this what do we need is we need a title. Okay, so title would be what? Suppose wake up at 7. Okay, and then we are also going to say description, description, and some work is there. Okay, some work is there. So if I try to post this, let's see what happens. So you can see to do is actually added successfully, and I think this is actually added along with, you can see we have the timestamps also. So let's actually check the database also so that we get confirmation. So here itself in the database, if I go to browse collections guys, so here you would actually see we are able to get our to do. That means our database is working perfectly. You can see the database name is also here, and a collection named as to-dos is automatically created according to the name of your schema, right? So you can see that this is automatically created, and automatically the created and updated at timestamps are also here, and you can identify it like a normal JavaScript timestamp. Okay, so now let's create one more to do. So we're just going to say have breakfast, so some hunger is there. Okay, so some hunger is there, fine, some hunger is there. So you can see again another is created, so you have to simply click on refresh and you can see that another document has been created. That means your create operation is working properly. Now you want to work on the read operation. How you can work on the read operation? So create is done. Okay, so first of all create is done. Now let's talk about read operation. Okay, so we are just going to say that similar to this guys, we are going to just copy this. Okay, we are going to paste it here, but this time this is when you are reading something, that means you are getting it. Okay, now you're just saying you just want to get the data, so you just say that get to do's. You'll be getting all to do's, right? So if you want to get all to do's, you're just talking about get to do's, and what you would do is instead of this guys, you would just say that all to do's would be found from MongoDB. If you write to do dot find, that means I'm just finding for all the things which does not contain a blank space. That means just nothing. Okay, I'm just saying that just find everything in MongoDB. If you want to find everything, you just pass a empty find. Okay, so that's it. So I would get all the to do's here, and now once I got all the to do's, I would simply say to do fetched to-dos fetched successfully. So once I got all the to-dos, so I would just print this. Okay, so now let's try to use this. So I added a to-do. Now similarly we want to get this, so I'll just duplicate this request so that yeah, I can just say get to-do. And now this, since this is the get request, it actually does not require any body and headers. You can actually remove this from here, you don't need this. If I click on send, so you can see the problem here is cannot get this. Why? Because it's actually get to-dos. Now if I click on send, so you can see that I'm actually able to get the to-dos, right? So your get operation is also done, the read operation is also done. Now suppose if you want to read a single to-do, what you can do is I'll just copy this again, and I would just say, suppose if someone provides any single to do, that is some ID, okay, some ID, if someone provides some ID as a parameter, so you would actually find that specific ID by simply saying task dot find by ID. Okay, so task dot find by ID, and you would be just providing your ID parameter which you receive from the URL. Once you provide that, you would be getting the to dos. According to that, obviously you would be getting a single to do, so obviously you would be sending that as a response. That's it. Okay, so now you can see that we just created a to do which gives a single to do for the ID. Okay, so let's say we are talking about this single ID. So if I just copy this, and after this we just said if someone actually provides you an ID. Okay, so copy and paste it here. If I click on send, so you can see you got that specific to do, right? So that's very easy to use. So we actually perform the read operation also. Okay, so this was actually the read operation. I hope you understood it. I'll also provide the source code, you don't need to worry about this, but I hope you understood the logic, right? So now after this, guys, we have the update operation. So you remember that we did the post operation and we did the this operation. So update is actually combination of both these. So you're just saying that first of all you need to provide that to do which you want to update. That means you would be needing the ID. Okay, so I'll just say suppose the name of this is actually update to do's. Okay, update to do's. So actually update single to do, this is actually update single to do, so that would be better. So update single to do, the ID of that to do would be required. Okay, once you provided that ID, now you're just going to say you want to update, right? You want to update, so you would just say whatever you provide in the body, that's what you want to update, right? So you would just say here itself find one and update. Actually find by ID and update. Okay, find by ID and update, and here you'd be getting the ID from what? From the URL, and you'd be getting the body from front end, and you'd just be creating a new object. Okay, separate object. Okay, that's it. Okay, so now you can see that once you do this, so it would be actually updated, and then automatically it would be saved here. Okay, it would be saved into the database. So once you do this, so to do's updated, to do updated successfully. Okay, so this is for the update operation, right? So now let's try to perform this. We can just say, since this is the update operation, so I'll just copy this, right? And I would go to this, and here since this is the update operation, so okay, let's do this here. Okay, so this is the post operation. Instead of this, now I'm doing the update operation, so I actually performed it for put. Now I'll just say that I want to update this. Which one I want to update? Suppose have breakfast, instead of have breakfast I want to perform it for have lunch. Okay, so the idea of have breakfast for what is this? Okay, so I would just say instead of this I would say we have lunch, and rest everything is there. That means the I don't want to change the description, I just want to change the title of this specific one. Will I be able to do this? So now if I click on this, so you can see we have an error. Why? Because cannot put this. Why we have this error? So we have to look for the name first of all. So we have given the name as update to do, but the problem here is this is actually the put method. That's it. Okay, so now let's try to use this. So if I click on send, so you would actually need some time. Okay, I think it's not connected. Okay, it's connected, and you can see that yeah, now it's converted to have lunch. That means previously it was have breakfast, now it's converted to have lunch. So if I go here and if I just refresh the document, you would see the same changes here also. So guys, now that's how you can actually update any document. Okay, so obviously you would be calling these APIs in the front end. You won't be doing that in your Postman. Obviously you would be calling these APIs in your front end, and you'll be providing the update like profile picture, name, and things like that of a user, and you'll be updating data like that, right? So guys, that's how you actually provide the update operation. Okay, so this is for the put method, that is you can update using put or patch. So obviously put is better in this case, because obviously you won't be providing the whole to do list, that is whole to do, like if I just want to update the title, I don't want to update the description, so I'll be just providing the title in the body and it would be updated. So that's very easy, right? That's very easy if you use it with put. With patch you have to actually provide the whole data and things like that, so there is some problem. You can either use put or patch, that's actually totally up to you, but in our case we just used a put. So again, put and patch, whatever you use, both of them actually mean that you want to update something. Even if you put patch here, this operation, MongoDB operation, just says whatever you provide in the body, just update it into database. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you put or patch here, doesn't matter that much. The main is this method. Okay, whatever you provide to this, it would update this to database. That's it. Okay, that means if you just provide the title, title would be updated. If you provide the title and description, title and description would be updated. If you don't provide title, if you provide description, so only description would be updated. Okay, so that's the put operation. So we actually perform the update operation. So we'll just say update is also done. I'll just actually make a comment here, update. Okay, so create is done, read is done, and update is done.